I'm Andrew Ross Sorkin of the New York Times' DealBook, here with Sam Grobart, who's the personal technology editor at the New York Times. And we're talking about Microsoft's $8.5 billion acquisition of Skype. What does it mean? How does it change the landscape, if it does at all, to the technology world?
I don't think it changes the landscape immediately at all. What will be very interesting to see is what Microsoft does with Skype that companies like eBay, of course, its previous owner, couldn't quite figure out.
Okay, so what do you expect to see Microsoft try to do over the next, say, year or 18 months as they try to integrate it into their services?
I think there are a couple of areas that they're definitely going to be focusing on. The mobile space is key. Microsoft has Windows Phone 7, which is a very interesting operating system, but they've lost a lot of ground in that area. So clearly, Skype may play a role in their efforts there.
Okay.
You've also got the Xbox, perhaps Microsoft's only consumer success, which is trying to become more and more of a living room device, not just a gaming device. And so the idea that you have cameras and communication coming through the Xbox, I think that's another big area. And of course, businesses at the enterprise level with Office and all of their collaborative work as they try to take on companies like Cisco.
Right. Does it do anything to their internet business? Bing, the search engine which competes with Google, Hotmail, can it make Hotmail sexy again?
It would be a neat trick if it could. I mean, I think the problem there is that it's a little bit like people switching bank accounts. Once everybody moves over to one service, they really want to start switching up email addresses again. So it's a one-way kind of flow.
And how does the relationship change? Skype has been integrated into things like the iPhone, into Google Android. People can use this technology in other places. Does the relationship change now that Microsoft owns it?
Not necessarily. I mean, one example would be that Office is the #1 selling piece of software on Apple computers. Microsoft has long been the biggest software supplier to Apple, so they seem to be able to manage, one side of the relationship versus another.
Right. Now, $8.5 billion, people saying that's a lot of money for a company that just lost $7 million last year. How does this move Microsoft forward? I mean, it's not a new technology. It's not a technology on the cutting edge.
No. It's something we're all very familiar with, and obviously that has a lot of users. I think it's Microsoft's effort to jumpstart itself. Again, they've seen sort of the mobile space pass them by. They're looking for something as a quick way to get in, and Skype, with its hundreds of millions of users, may be that thing.
Sam Grobart, thank you for the conversation.
My pleasure.
I'm Andrew Ross Sorkin of the New York Times' DealBook.